A gracious good day once again to one and all. 'Tis I, Norton the First, by grace of God, Emperor of the United States and Protector of Mexico, back at you with episode 32 of Emperor Norton's fantastic history vlog. Now, we're going to start off with a little something different this morning. We missed a birthday yesterday, a very important one. The actor Leslie Jordan. And if you have not been catching his Instagram feed, it's probably the best thing that's been happening during our quarantine. So check out those episodes. So happy birthday to him. And we actually had the privilege of meeting him once. He probably does not remember this at all, but we were walking along the streets of San Francisco one day, and we saw a gentleman cross the street, and it took a second to recognize him. Immediately, though, within a few seconds, knew that it was Leslie Jordan. So I get to the other side of the street, go back and say, "Leslie Jordan?" He goes, "Why, yes, who are you?" And we had a lovely conversation. I don't think he ever really realized who I was, but nonetheless, here's the photograph to prove it. Hopefully you can see that. Well, back to the rest of the historic events today. On this date in 1954, public TV station KQED began broadcasting here in San Francisco. It was the second public TV station, as WQED in Pittsburgh, Pennsylvania had begun just a few days before. It was on this date in 1492 that Christopher Columbus is given a royal commission by Spanish monarchs Isabella and Ferdinand to equip his fleet for the New World. Ironically, it was also the same day that Jews were expelled from Spain. Also on this date, in 1563, Jews were expelled from France by an order of Charles VI. They're always trying to get rid of us, you know. 1789 on this day, George Washington is inaugurated as the first president of the United States. On this date in 1803, Chancellor Robert Livingston and James Monroe, who would become the fifth president of the United States, but at that time was the minister to Britain and France in the Jefferson administration, signed the Louisiana Purchase Treaty in Paris at a cost of $15 million and double the size of the United States of America, which would then become in the future our empire. It was on this date in 1808 that the first practical typewriter was finished by Italian Pellegrini Turri. Who knew? I didn't. This date in 1859, Charles Dickens' A Tale of Two Cities is first published in literary periodical All the Year Round. Weekly installments will continue until November 26. This date in 1897, English physicist J.J. Thomson announces his discovery of the electron. Happy birthday, electron! This date in 1900, Casey Jones dies heroically in a train wreck at Vaughn, Mississippi, while driving the Cannonball Express. Casey Jones, you better watch your speed. This date in 1904, the ice cream cone had its debut at the St. Louis World's Fair. And on this date in 1939, the New York World's Fair opened. It opened to the first TV demo of NBC and RCA with FDR, Franklin Delano Roosevelt, president at the time, at the opening of the fair. This date in 1949, Adolf Hitler committed suicide along with his new wife Eva Braun in Berlin. 1952, Mr. Potato Head is the first toy advertised on television. 1955, Perez Prado's Cherry Pink and Apple Blossom White, I hope I didn't say a bad word there, maybe I did, goes number one for 10 weeks. 1966, Anton LeVay founds the Church of Satan here in San Francisco. 1988, the then largest banana split ever at 4.5 miles long is made alongside Market Street in Snellis Grove, Pennsylvania. The record was broken in 2017 by Innisfall, Australia at 4.99 miles long. That's a big banana split, folks. 1989, the World Wide Web is first launched in the public domain by CERN scientist Tim Berners-Lee. Happy birthday, World Wide Web, which is bringing all this to you today, of course. 1997, 42 million people watch Ellen DeGeneres publicly declare that she is gay and gets her toaster oven. Birthdays today, San Francisco resident, at one point born here, Alice B. Toklas, the longtime companion of Gertrude Stein. It was in 1877. 1908, Eve Arden is born in Mills Valley. 1923, Al Lewis, Grandpa and the Munsters, is born. 1926, a happy birthday to Cloris Leachman, who's still with us. 1946, animator Bill Plimpton. Deaths this day. 1883, Edouard Manet, the French impressionist. I'm having trouble pronouncing words today, apparently. It's early. 1974, Agnes Moorehead, who you may remember as in Dora in Bewitched, but she was also in the movie Citizen Kane. It was his sled. She was born. Died this day in 1974. 1989, Sergio Leone, the Italian director who invented the spaghetti western. 2007, Tom Poston, a name you may or may not be familiar with. He was an actor in the early days of television on The Steve Allen Show. He's also on Mork and Mindy and Newhart. 2015, Ben E. King passed away, the American soul singer of Stand By Me. 2016, Daniel Berrigan, the American Jesuit priest and peace activist during the Vietnam War. And lastly, 2019, we said goodbye to Peter Mayhew, Chewbacca in the Star Wars movies. Well, that wraps it up for today. Until we meet again, stay safe, stay healthy, stay inside. If you go outside, wear a mask, be kind to each other, and we will meet again.